the first thing that you hear when you arrive back home is the sound of crying, baby crying. And Violetta will come in. She is holding on to this adorable little baby girl, and Violetta seems to have her figuratively hands full right now, and she says, "Oh, good, you're home. Could you please?" She's like, "I'm trying to get supper ready. Would you possibly be able to take her just for a few moments, dear?"
Oh, absolutely. I hate every moment I have to spend away from the three of you. And then he'll pull her very carefully up out of Violetta's arm and then do the normal finger thing, playing with her. How's my little Matilda?
She's been doing great. She only cries when you're not carrying her around all day. For some reason, even if I had to bend over to pick something off the floor, she starts crying, and as soon as I stand back up, then she stops. How was your day? She says.
It was exhaustive, to say the least. You ever have the feeling you just say what needs to be said, but it just never gets across and people continue in the same patterns they've been doing for a while? It's really rather frustrating.
Yes, I've been in that situation. She sort of waves her hands around, and I'm sure this is going to be a thing for one of the Athenaeum characters. These little voodoo dolls start sort of a Wizard's Apprentice style. They start helping to put ingredients into this stew pot to make some soup. So, these little voodoo dolls, they're just putting in vegetables and meat, and one of them's just stirring this cauldron, and you'll start to smell spices filling the room as they're making soup or stew. This is normal for you. You've seen this happen. Yeah. Violetta does this. And she'll say, when's the next time you have to go back again?
The next meeting's Thursday. Monday, I'm busy upholding the new law sessions with each individual country. I do have to do my rounds to Navarra and stuff on Tuesday, but I should be free Wednesday, and I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Well, not to add more to your plate, dear, she says as she takes a taste of the soup. Needs more salt, she says to one of the voodoo dolls. Then she says, not to add more to your plate, dear, but I just wanted to remind you that Fashion Friday is happening in Antiva, and as your godly duty, I think you are highly expected to be there, or at least to make an appearance.
Of all the domains I could have ended up with sitting on that chair, fashion, I'll admit, it makes a modicum of sense, but it just feels rather mundane when every day I'm handling trade law, legal embassies, integrating a lost society back into the modern world. It's fashion.
What's wrong with fashion? I would say that in your line of work, you want to make sure that you put your best foot forward, make yourself look professional and as presentable as possible.
What time is it?
She's used to you coming home late for dinner, so she'll say it's about 1:15 a.m.
Great, so I'm already late. I hate to do it, but can you make me a to-go box? I'll be home in another 8 or so hours.
All right, dear. She's turns around and says, I'm with the kids all day. You're in meetings all day. I really think that it's time for us to just take a pause and maybe go on a small family vacation. Small.
I agree, but can we wait until Saturday at least?
Absolutely. I wouldn't wait more than a week, so really Saturday is perfectly fine.
Okay. Just make this a go box. I'll do my best to catch up with everything when I get back, and then he'll hand Matilda back to her. I will be home ASAP. I am so sorry.
You'll try to hand Matilda over to her mom, but she's just gonna be like reaching towards you. Like clearly, she doesn't seem to want to be handed off.
Okay. Let's get this over with. Then Russo watches everything. That was explained in the campaign, right? Because Navarro was having to spend a lot of technology with clockwork material because of the phases of constant day and night.
I would say you have a pocket watch or something, maybe.
He'll pull the pocket watch out of his jacket. As of 1:15 a.m., I, Russo the Resolute, hereby enact for the next 24 hours Fuchsia's Fantastically Fabulous Fashion Fridays. And then he'll like put the pocket watch up, and then he'll do like a clap like that, and there's like a pink poof. And then you'll see like a blonde-haired woman dressed all in pink, and it's like his same voice, I'll be home at 9, and it just like turns into a pink neon dragon and flies away.
That is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So you go ahead, you do your event. I mean, the Antibans are well known for their fashion. There's this big festival. There are, of course, fashion shows. All of the big names in fashion are there. Runways and all that good stuff. We don't have to delve into this too much, but Tommy, what do you envision Russo is doing while he's there? What is his purpose while he's there?
Well, as Fuchsia, I imagine he just moderates like the fashion shows, and he has like a prayer thing at the end where it's like everyone says what they want, and then it's like, you get a makeover, you get a makeover.
Nice.
Doing like the
That is amazing. I'm sorry. So yeah, much revelry, very high morale. Everyone has a wonderful time. Glitter. I would say like by the time you get home, there's like glitter all over, which will probably take weeks and weeks and weeks to get out of your clothes. Yeah, everybody is. There's probably like, once you're back home from this, you can still hear slight echoes from the walls of people praising, "Hail Rousseau, god of fashion or saint of fashion." And I'm gonna say that like by this point, again, it's just a normal thing at the house when they hear those echoing through the walls. But before I close the scene, I'd like for there to be like this moment again with Rousseau and Matilda. So let's say that it's getting late and you're trying to put Matilda to sleep or get her ready for bed, and you have the little child in your arms. What are some of the other things that you do to like entertain her, and or try to help put her to sleep?
So Rousseau gets home, turns back from Fuchsia back into Rousseau like as soon as he gets back in the door, and then he'll like go over to her crib and then just kind of flick off a little bit of the glitter left out of his jacket. And then he'll basically pick her up and start lulling her as he sits down in the chair. So much has changed in a year. You came into my life. I met beautiful people. I might have wronged some people. I've changed the world. But you're here, and that's all that matters to me.
She will look up at you with her soft eyes. You'll hear a coo, and she will take her little hands and she'll just start reaching out towards you a little bit. While this is happening, you feel a little bit of a warmth coming from her body, more than just body heat. And there's like a slight glow to her when she's doing this.
Russo keeps a very neutral expression while this is happening because he does have very complex opinions on like godhood and everything, and knew that like she was probably going to end up as one.
Yeah, a demigod.
He'll just look at her, and then he'll very slowly get a bit of a smile, and then he'll just go, Daddy's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that bird don't sing, Daddy's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that ring turns to dust, I'll be here till the end so it doesn't rust. And then he'll just hold her tight.
You're gonna also hear a soft voice from the doorway say, Daddy? It's Balin.
He'll just look up at Balin. Hey, Balin.
He goes over and he wraps his arms around you. It's pretty late. It's past his bedtime. It looks like he just got out of bed just randomly, and he just like gives you a hug. Daddy, can I get some water?
Yeah. And then like holding Matilda in one arm as she's starting to fall asleep, he'll kind of like tuck her like that, and then he'll hold out his free arm to Balin as he gets up.
Mommy says we might be going on vacation. Is that true?
Yeah, I think it'd be good for all of us just to take a break from everything.
Are you going to be home more then, Daddy?
I really want to be. It's a little tough.
I know. Well, you don't have to worry, though. I'm taking good care of Matilda while you're not here.
Of course. And then he'll hold his hand up on the side of Balin's face. After all, you're my little man and you gotta be strong.
You're strong too, Daddy. You're the strongest.
Thank you. Now, let's get you some water.
You go over and get Balin some water, and I'm gonna say that Violetta is already there. She's putting milk away because she's prepared some, and she'll nod towards Balin. She'll sort of like ruffle his hair a little bit as he passes by, and I think that Violetta will say, "So you noticed it too with Matilda? You felt it from her? What exactly is the protocol for things like this now? Does she go technically? Is she technically supposed to be sent to the Circle of Magi? Is she not technically a mage? I don't think that they've quite figured that out with the magical dwarves either."
I think we need to take this a day at a time. Obviously, it's gonna be quite a thing for her to grow up with. I think it's more that we have to deal with the fact our little girl's gonna become a god one day, and that's a lot for me to take in.
But it'll be normal for her. It'll be all that she'll ever know. I think it will be harder for us than it would be for her.
Which is why I think that we do our best to keep our dynamic as strong as we can and help her grow into it. And I still want her to grow up as normal as the rest of the children in Thetis as possible. Though that's impossible, at least do what we can.
I think that's wise and admirable, sweetheart. But the definition of normal in this family might be a little skewed. She says as she's like pointing to the voodoo dolls who were like sweeping up the floor across the room.
Yeah, well, you're not the one having to turn into a woman every week for your fashion agreement.
Says who? Well, have you been getting some tips from Bostwick? She says, like, chuckling.
It was surprisingly a relatable conversation. The first time it happened, it was a little strange, but I think I can grow into it being normalcy eventually.
She sort of takes a hold of your hand and she gives a squeeze. And she says, one day at a time, right? One day at a time.
Absolutely.
Well, go to bed. I can take over with Matilda from here.
Appreciate it. And he'll give her a hug and like the husband-wife kiss thing, and then just slowly drag his feet to bed, as it's been about like 3 days since Russo slept at this point.
Good night, my love. Rest well. And we'll end the scene there. Awesome. So, Leon, we are at the White Spire. And your friend, Pyrrhus, who is a talking book, yes, he is a talking book, is one of the professors over at the White Spire. He's currently giving them a lesson on, I'm just going to say chlorophyll, because of course he is. He's giving a lesson on plants and chlorophyll. So this is like herbology or something in the Mage Tower. And there's this stuffed animal bunny rabbit who's just in the corner, just kind of like slumped over watching the students. And Leon, I'd love for you to be in the scene. I don't know if you want to be in the scene just like observing, or if you are assisting in this lesson.
I like to think that Leon was just hanging out in the greenhouse, minding his own business when class suddenly started. And now it's just way too awkward to leave because, you know, he's been here for a while, but he was here first. So really he should be here, but, you know, it's just too awkward to leave. So he's silently waiting for the class to end while he's looking at his plants.
The book is going to be propped up. Pyrrhus is going to be propped up right up front. And, you know, the students are like attentively like taking notes. And Pyrrhus will say, "Now then, class, turn to page 394, where we will be talking about the common but oh so versatile elf fruit. Now, the history of elf fruit dates back from etc, etc, etc. And he's just going to keep, you know, lecturing and lecturing. And I'm going to say that maybe there's a couple students who are like passing notes to each other. And, you know, they don't seem to be like paying attention. I'll say that Leon notices this. You can decide for yourself. One of them actually passes a note with a paper airplane. A paper airplane.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was going to throw a paper airplane at them and join the conversation.
Oh, you could.
I'm going to put like a little sprig of elf fruit into the paper airplane. You know, because it has to be class-oriented to throw, you know, good vibes at the kids. Because, you know, you can't, as a god, be a troublemaker. That's not allowed. It's so much responsibility. So, just a paper airplane with a sprig of elf fruit shows up. And I don't know if Pyrrhus sees this. He is a book, after all.
Pyrrhus, whenever he gets into, like, teacher mode, he doesn't really like the rest of the class is like a blur to him. So
he's listening to himself. Yeah.
He likes to hear himself talk. So he probably is not noticing it right away. So you're just trying to get into the conversation?
Oh yes, for sure.
So what does the note say?
Probably some arcane secrets about elf fruit that they don't teach you in class. 101 reasons to love elf fruit. Number 5 will shock you.
Oh, okay. So you don't even like ask them what they're talking about. You just insert yourself into the conversation.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay. I'm gonna say that one of the students like looks at your direction and they're like, they recognize who you are instantly. And the other student like looks, and his reaction is less shocked because we'll say that he's seen you around before. Maybe this is like a newer student or something. And one of them will try to shut their eyes, focus really hard, And
While their eyes are shut, I'm gonna like crawl and then show up in another location so it looks like I've teleported.
oh, okay. Yeah, you'll teleport into another. They'll still have your eyes shut if you teleported or crawled to another location, and you actually hear a prayer from that person, and the prayer is, "Please, Leon the Learned, please help me get an A in the next test. Please help me get an A." What? Are you going to respond to said prayer?
I'm just going to have a airplane with the letter A show up on his desk. So technically he does get an A on the next test, but I'm not cheating because cheating is wrong.
Right. The person will like open his eyes again, look to where you were, and look a little bit confused. Meanwhile, you'll hear from the lecture, and once you have ground up the elf root into a fine powder, Mr. Thaddeus, I hope you've been paying attention during this entire time. And then the student who like had his eyes shut like sits up and says, "Yes, Professor, yes." And he says, "Thaddeus, would you be so kind as to explain to the rest of the class what the 3 principal uses of elf root are?" He says, "I would love to tell you that, Mr. Professor, sir." And meanwhile, you're going to hear a prayer saying, "Mr. Leon the Learned, can you please tell me what the 3 answers to the question are?"
The paper that has 101 uses of elf root is just going to like flutter a little closer to his desk so he could read it.
Okay. He's gonna start, like, in his peripheral, start reading, like, the first 3. Pyrus is gonna pause for a moment and says, "That is correct. It sounds rather scripted, what you just said." And he said, I don't, sir, you're just a very good teacher, Professor. Somehow, the things that you say just embed themselves into my mind. I don't know what else to say to that. And suddenly the student grows a little bit white, and if anyone were to follow his gaze, he's looking right at the bunny rabbit stuffed animal. And if you were not, if you wouldn't know any better, it almost looks like the bunny rabbit is staring right at him. And Pyrus says, "Thaddeus, is something the matter?" No, Professor," he says. Pyrus turns his book cover towards the side. "What are you looking over there, Thaddeus? There's nothing interesting for you that has anything to do with the lesson over there." I think Mr. Bunn is looking at me, sir." "Mr. Bunn? Looking at you? Preposterous," he says. "He's just a stuffed animal. Nothing more, nothing less." And Pyrus looks towards, again, Mr. Bunn. And he says, I don't know, sir. I'm really think that he's looking at me." And Pyrus says, "I've explained to you many times, class, that Mr. Bunn is a personal object, an artifact of the great Leon the Learned himself, that has accompanied him in grand adventures. I'm sure that if Mr. Bunn were alive, that he would have far less, that he would find you as one of the least interesting things you could possibly focus on. Is that right, Leon?" As he says, turning towards wherever Leon is at the moment.
Leon is going to pretend to hide in the leaves and be like, "Yes, yes. I was definitely not here the whole time. Yeah, yes. Mr. Bunn is a personal effect from my childhood and a great follower of Pyrus."
Is that Leon the Learned? Oh, it's Leon the Learned. There's people are like starting to gossip. and says, No, class, I will have order. Yes, I'm sure everyone here probably has dozens and dozens of questions for the young man, and I do not blame you. Very well, we'll take a slight pause so that Mr. Learned can maybe teach a thing or two and try to hopefully let some of this knowledge stick into your heads. Leon, would you care to take over and to the class?
Unfortunately, I was looking for you if you have a moment, Mr. Pyrus, Professor Pyrus.
Moment? I suppose. Class, turn to page 57 and start working on your worksheets as well. Thaddeus, please keep your eyes on your page at all times. Thank you very much. All right. We may speak, but do try to keep it quick.
Oh, yes. You see, there's been a number of interesting theses that it would be lovely to cross-reference within your pages. I know that you've been collecting quite a bit of knowledge recently.
Collecting knowledge. Yes, I have amassed a whole multitude of knowledge from the pages that you, by the way, emptied out a year ago. But since then, I have been able to accumulate a number of wondrous things that I'm very excited to provide to the youth, the uneducated youth of the world, of which this world has very little shortage of.
Yes, I'm quite sure that you have been doing a wonderful job, and everyone sings your praises.
Is that all that you wish to converse with me?
I'm just going to start looking through Pyrus as he's talking.
Yeah.
And I start getting very confused and then flipping faster and being like, Pyrus, most of these are just different recipes for herring pie. What have you been collecting?
What's wrong with herring pie? I thought you liked herring pie.
I used to, but, after the 30th dish in a row of herring pie, for the references of taste testing and seeing which one was the best,
Oh, I see. Are you trying to say that Perfectly Pasha's herring pies is superior to mine?
I would never say such thing, especially within earshot of either of you, as I don't want to get into another pastry war, as it were.
Well, my dear boy, herring pie is a recipe that has been passed down from generation to generation. Your line of people pride themselves in creating the best herring pie in the land, and being able to come up with a few varieties of it to accommodate certain tastes and dietary restrictions, I think is a great way to pass on such valuable knowledge.
Knowing that he's never going to get anywhere with this, he's going to continue on being like, oh, well, I'm sure that you'll find the best one eventually. But I've heard some interesting research materials are going on around here. Have you heard anything like that? Especially with what's going on in the Chiatas?
There's tons of research, of course, trying to figure out what best uses of all of the dragon fruit, for example. Not only is it very nutritious and tasty, but it does have a lot of magical properties, as you can imagine. Chi is something that has been untapped in this world for a while, so yes, there's been dozens of research on that. Have you been partaking in any of such research? I believe you have.
Yes, I do have the garden in the Golden City, but, well, it gets a little lonely up there, not to, say too much. Everyone's got their own little space, and not many really want to hang out there anymore.
Well, if there's any knowledge that you wish to place into my pages, I am always appreciative of that. And in return, maybe you could do me a favor. It's been a while since I've given myself a challenge. I mean, these students here at the White Spire, they are very gifted. Most of them are very gifted. But I have always been a passionate teacher. You know that. I just want to teach and expand the minds of people. Since you brought up the herring pie thing, I am in search of someone that I can truly provide my culinary expertise. I want to find the worst cook in all of Thetis and have them be my pupil. I think that would be the perfect challenge for me. What do you think?
You know, I did hear that Pasha is getting into the entertainment business, one with the she called it something like the Bachelorette, but for griffins, and that seemed to be a huge success. I'm sure that we could come up with something like Thetis' Next Top Chef or From Rags to Riches, but chef?
That's true. Or Thetis' Worst Cooks. I can see that. We should be able to market this quite well, I would think.
The Black City's kitchen.
Maybe the circus would be able to host it, much like the circus was able to host the Bachelorette for the Griffin Bachelorette.
We should talk to Master Ignaldo about that. In fact, if I can pull you away from, teaching your pupils, we could go talk to him now.
I think that's a brilliant idea. It's been a while since I have been around the carnies. Well, brilliant idea. I'm glad I thought of it.
Yes, your entire idea. It is stupendous. We must take Mr. Bunn with us, as he is your keeper.
Yes, Mr. Bunn definitely needs to come with. Absolutely. It'll be like old times. We haven't gone adventuring in quite a while, have we, Leon?
That is true.
Very well. Then, starting next week, I will have a substitute. I'm not sure if there's any other professor here that can match my level of skill and aptitude, but we shall try.
I mean, there's definitely no one as unique as you are, but I'm sure that Cedric can come up with someone.
All right. Very well. Let it be written, let it be done. Come, Leon, to the circus.
Adventure.
Where's the circus right now?
We'll have to ask around a bit. Leon starts trying to triangulate things, writing things down in a notebook. Sort of walks into a wall, but instead of bumping into the wall, just sort of passes through it with Mr. Bunn and Pyrrhus in tow.
And we can end the scene there. The Athenaeum cast have found themselves at the circus, and they had last actually spoken to Mai and Tai, believe it or not. So to set things up, because Russo got the highest initiative just now, I will say that they arrive at the circus first. Russo and Matilda and Violetta and Balin will probably arrive, and they probably look for Master Ignaldo himself. I'm sure Violetta would have given him the heads up, especially to find out where he is exactly. He will be in the Chi Isles, which is going to be their first time ever having the circus in the Chi Isles, and they're already setting up the circus right now. And Master Ignaldo will go up to the family with open arms, and he will say, "Russo the Resolute and company, we are so honored to have you as guests at our circus, as usual." Violet will say, "It's really nice to see you, Master Ignaldo."
Enough of the formalities, Ignaldo. You let us live in your circus rent-free for around 9 months. I'm just Russo to you. Let's keep it simple.
Sorry, I'm a very theatrical person. I like titles, but I will accommodate accordingly. Russo, it is very good to see you. Thank you very much for coming. Can I see the animals, Daddy?
Absolutely.
And Balin will just go off to look for the animals. And Master Ignaldo will say, "How long are you staying? I've made accommodations for you to take temporary residence at the wagons, one of the wagons. You're welcome to stay for as long as you'd like, of course.
I thought we'd stay at least a couple days, get to reunite with everyone, have a good relaxing trip.
Oh, relaxing trip. So I suppose I wouldn't be able to convince you to make an appearance at one of our shows in the Big Top.
What kind of appearance, Athon?
I was gonna leave that up to you. The people always appreciate seeing you saints. It's good for the morale. You're all very inspiring, of course. And there happens to be a lot of very fashionable people, I think, coming to this particular evening. You won't have to feel pressure, but it would be really nice.
I won't say no, but I'm very hesitant to say yes, so let me think about it.
You are guests here, so anything that you want, you can do or not do as you please. He says, Master Ronaldo says.
Okay. Russo will just kind of reach into his bag and pull out like a small pouch of coins. In case if I don't, at least you're properly compensated.
Oh, Russo, you don't have to. And he says, as soon as he says he grabs it, you don't have to. He says he takes it. I mean, but I am a businessman.
Beyond charitable.
He says. Violetta just chuckles at the whole thing. And she says, Master Naldo, I just wanted to be very clear that we are here on a vacation, so I will 100% support whatever my husband does or does not want to do during his vacation. Yes, absolutely, Princess Violetta, absolutely. She says, Princess, I haven't heard that in a while. It's going to be at this point, Tyrion. So you have actually reconnected with Bomb.
Alright.
I'll do that very briefly. Bomb will, very excitedly give you a tap with his finger on your back.
Yeah.
It's good to see you again, my friend. Thank you for coming.
Same with you, Bomb. Yes, I read it with as much haste as I could. How has research been going?
Research has been going very well. People are still very skeptical about this new type of medicine, but I will say that for the people who choose to at least give it a try, it seems to be helping them.
At least. That's good.
I believe that Master Ignaldo would like to at least say hello to you, since we're in the area. The circus is in town, actually.
Oh, that would be good to at least visit. Haven't been there in a while due to all the winter stuff and the healers' camps. What do you want to accompany me, or?
I would love to. It would be good to reconnect with old friends.
Good. Let's make our way then. We'll make our way to the camp, to the circus camp.
You will make your way. For the people who do not know, in the Athenaeum campaign, this large figure, for those of you who know Dragon Age, Bomb is an ogre. He is a darkspawn ogre with a blue mustache. And he's not wearing any armor. He's wearing, I would probably say, some sort of suit, I guess, of some sort. Not noble's suit, but dressier than what a darkspawn would typically be wearing. And Rousseau will immediately see Bomb approaching Master Ignaldo. It's hard to miss this guy. So you'll see him first, but then you'll see Tyrion next to him as well. And I will just say that you both of your eyes, Rousseau and Tyrion, will connect.
Hey, Tyrion. Been a while.
It has been a while, yes. I sort of give a smile and nod to him. I sort of look at his family. give them all a nod.
Tyrion, so good to see you, Violetta says, and she'll go up to you to give you a hug.
It is, and he sort of hugs back. And is Mistletoe with them, I imagine?
She says, are you asking about Tumble?
No. I've been very busy. He sort of chuckles.
Oh, I see. Well,
What kind of busy, Tyrion? As he just kind of like elbows Violetta a little bit, like playfully.
Well, setting up some services, putting out some healers camps, you name it. I think you've probably heard of the work.
That's good. You still chained to Minrathos on the daily?
That, yes, I'm still doing my service as there is, though progress has been going well-ish.
Well, considering we avoided a civil war with that, it's progress.
True, yeah, that whole thing. Still a lot of progress work, but that will be done. I'm only here to aid with Bomb on some new discoveries for amputation, maybe with some medicine. So could help out, could be spread around the camps. But it's been a while since I've been in the circus, and well, did not expect to see you here. But it's good to meet you again, even though it's been a while.
Likewise, I've just been really busy making sure Thetis doesn't rip itself apart.
Aren't we all busy? Surf chuckles.
it's going to be at this point that you'll hear two familiar voices cry out towards your direction. Master Ignaldo! Master Ignaldo! Mai and Tai appear, and behind them is this motley crew of characters that you have never seen before, but they are following Mai and Tai, the conjoined twins. And as soon as they realize who else is here, they'll say, "Oh, you all are here too!" And Master Ignaldo looks at the group behind you and says, "Mai Tai, do you have customers?" And she says, "Well, not exactly. Which of you is the leader again?" Mai and Tai asks the Athenaeum group.
We don't really have a leader, but we have two quote-unquote dads.
BP, Stan, that's you.
Sure.
BP.
Okay, hi.
Oh, and your luck, she says. You're in presence of two of the saints of Thetis, she says. Russo the Resolute and Tyrion the Free. They might be able to help you with your problem.
Well, it's good to meet both of you. Are you from the library?
Which library?
The big one that keeps sending us to different worlds.
I'm just gonna place my hand on Tyrion's shoulder. I think they mean the library.
Oh, that one that was long ago.
But you know what we're talking about.
You been there before?
Oh, thank heavens.
Accidentally,
Once.
yes, accidentally, sort of. It was very weird.
Well, ours is pretty accidental too, but generally, when we change places and go to new places, we stop at the library first, but for some reason, we didn't go to the library like I thought.
We glitched. We did a big glitch.
Fault.
What?
I took
Video
them to my world.
game glitch, right, Lonnet?
I took them to my world, and World 5 is a mess. And now we're here because I took them to my world. We should have gone back to Frankie's or Sue's worlds first.
Wait, there's more worlds?
Oh yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot.
of course.
We're all from different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Question?
That I could gather, but like, what's a glitch?
Yeah, what's a video?
Right, remember they're like from my time period. No electricity really, I think.
Was
right? Do you have
gathering,
electricity?
What's that word that?
Imagine a curse. It's like a curse,
Oh,
That makes sense. It's like a curse.
Think of it as like science magic.
like Darting's things were. So his magic, or Violetta's stuff. I think.
Something. Right, BP? Because in your world, it was all a bunch of curses.
It was dark magic that in my world, but there's also like it's like technology, but really advanced.
As you are talking about dark magic, I'm going to say that separately, this is going to be when Pasha and Dirtham simultaneously arrive to the circus. So Pasha, you arrived here, I believe you arrived here with Athon? Yes? Okay. I'm gonna say that when you arrived, Balin had found Athon because he wanted to look at the animals, and so you leave Athon with Valor, and his griffin. Athon now is bonded with the ginger griffin, whom Valor decides to mate with. Just so you know, he decided to name the griffin Enasaline.
Oh.
Enasaline, which is the Dalish word for victory. But people of Common Tongue refer to the griffin as victory. So valor and victory. Pasha will go over to probably to say hi and announce your presence to Master Ignaldo.
So as Pasha is walking up and everyone else is talking, there would they would hear as through the clouds up top there would be a large winged shape before eventually there's a roar as a massive dragon swoops out of the clouds before kind of circling the camp for a little bit. And actually we'll say more around Pasha, and the dragon will circle before, and we'll say it's a black dragon that has blue kind of scaling sheen. As the dragon lands down next to Pasha with Darren on the dragon's back.
Enjoying your flight, my dear?
And in Pasha's head, she'll hear, "Yes, quite. It's been a while since I let loose."
Yes.
Pasha! What a surprise, Darren says.
I know, my dear. I know, it's been far too long. Far too long since we last spoke. You must come to a perfectly, Pasha. You must.
I've heard very good things. She says, do you think perhaps, is there a special discount or special that you would love to tell me about?
Oh, you simply must try our salted caramel cheesecake. It is truly, truly divine. Truly divine. And you get a friend's discount. Friend of the store discount.
That sounds magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. We will have to talk later about that. Are you here for business or pleasure?
Oh, pleasure. This time. It's been far too long since Athon and I took a bit of time off.
Oh, Athon. So that's still going very well, I trust.
It is. It is going very nicely, and I can see that you and Dirtham, and she'll look at the dragon and just give that nod of yeah.
The dragon almost gives a deep throaty like a chuckle.
Yeah, just under Pasha's breath. Of course, as the god of lovers, I get a little ding whenever you get up to things, but it's fine. It's fine.
And in her head, Pasha will hear, you don't have to peek. You can turn it off. I've shown you how to do it.
I keep forgetting.
I don't know, Pasha. I think that part of you, subconsciously wants to be present. Subconsciously.
The dragon nods.
I'm living my sexual fantasies vicariously out through Yuto. Oh, an asexual god of lovers. How terrible for me.
Well, she says, I'm a very good teacher. So if you need some lessons as a dance teacher, I might be able to help at least.
My dear, I don't think my sexual orientation is anything you can teach me out of.
There'll be a little burst of like maybe air or something as Darren just feels like basically a little push, just like, come on.
Indeed. Now, I don't believe we're alone, actually. I believe Russo is here. I saw Balin pottering about.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go ahead and insert ourselves to the conversation then. I would love to catch up and see how everybody else has been doing. And that's going to be when you all arrive in time to hear the black magic thing.
As they see Pasha, Darren, and a giant black dragon.
Darren arrives, and she kind of appears with Dartham. Her outfit, her silk outfit, is very flowy, and even though there's no wind, it seems to be like rustling a little bit in the wind, almost as if it has a mind of its own. It can be very hypnotic.
What's this about black magic?
Electricity. Heard of it?
I just looked to Tori.
He's the expert.
Oh yeah. I don't know how it all works, but I have it.
The dragon actually leans in a little bit towards Tori, as this huge hulking monstrosity just leans in. There's a big sniff before the form of the dragon just entirely shifts and then condenses down into a person. Looks to be with like light gray skin, black and blue veins, kind of that are very visible, going around the face. Crimson eyes, but very fine features, long black hair, and wearing very, very regal dark robes with a bit of gold and blue embedded in them, with a staff. As now Darren looks over, you're not alive.
Nope, dead.
What a nice trick.
Yeah, Dartham, I should point out, as Dominic says, does not look like his portrait, because he does look a little bit more elf-like now. Mm-hmm. And then really quickly, just to insert, Tori, you feel a draw towards Pasha, because one of Pasha's main followers are angsty teens. So you feel a little bit of a draw to Pasha. Angst.
That's perfect.
Pasha, you feel a draw towards black powder, surprisingly. As a person who loves sweets, there's something that nobody else in this group can sense, but there's something particularly sweet smelling, sweet enticing about the Black Powder's character for some reason.
That was a cool transformation. Can we be friends?
Sure. Apologies. Has everyone introduced themselves?
Not yet, no. We were still trying to figure out where they came from, which apparently is from all worlds. Yeah. Also, hello.
Yeah, they say they've been to the library.
The library.
Well, we don't just been to it, we live in it. We have like furniture and beds and everything. We have, it's a kitchen and tables, and it's like our house.
It has pretty much been our home base for, 4 months now?
Something
How long
like
have
that.
we known each other? Something like that.
Around there. There's a swimming pool, karaoke machine, everything.
Good amenities.
For reference, that karaoke machine is a thing you hook up to sing at.
I see.
It's a lot of fun. You mentioned like a performance here. That we could do that.
The circus is known for things like that. Yes, Master Ignaldo, I'm sure, has something fabulous prepared.
I always do.
Are you guys a circus act?
No, we are the gods of this world.
Gods.
Correct.
Gods? Sue asks.
Yes, I'm being very literal.
Queen Sue and the new guests.
Yes, by circumstance, we've been gods about a year now.
You don't look like gods, Sue says.
Don't look like my god, at least. Then again, we don't know what he looks like, so.
We all come from different worlds, so I guess in your world you have your own gods. But
Nothing surprises us no more.
Yeah, we're pretty much just going with the flow at this point.
Question: do any of you know Athena? Because she has like been ignoring my calls, and I'm so over this mess. So if you know Athena, can you just like tell her to like answer Star's prayers? That's all I'm saying.
One second. As Dirkham actually closes eyes. There's 57 in Antiva. There's another 20 in Ravane. Where exactly?
I mean, how many gods do you guys have here? I'm just meaning the
No,
one
I mean
back
the.
home.
Oh, a god. No, there's no god or goddess Athena here.
Well, then shit. I'm all out of ideas now.
Oh. Just one more weird thing in another weird world, Star. We'll get through it.
Sam?
Sam?
Go ahead, Lonic.
My belly feels cold.
Cold?
That's because you don't have a shirt.
Well, here, I got something that'll warm you up a little bit. And I'll hand Lonic my flask. So just take it easy a little bit, and that'll warm you up good.
Oh, the giggle juice. That stuff's great.
I feel a lot better. Lonix actually going to change into a chimchar and climb up on Sam.
Ooh, cool.
And I'll actually offer the flask to Tyrion first off the bat and just say, so you've been to the library, but it was by accident. Can you tell us how you got there?
We were sleeping at one moment, and then randomly we appeared in this library. Probably the same, but there were other people there.
It was the ones from that
The
World of
wizardy.
Mages. Yeah.
Yeah. As she's gonna.
They read something out from our book, and we appeared.
I believe the one named Toby tried to edit a passage and it just like dragged us into their world.
Something like that, yeah.
So not intentional, though. It's by accident?
Yes, quite.
Entirely.
Okay, so we need to figure out how to do this like on purpose.
Exactly.
Have you guys seen a bookmark around? That usually tends to be how our way back to the library is a bookmark.
Like the portal.
I mean, I believe Pyrus has a bookmark, but
I could potentially see if Leon's going to be here.
I can keep an eye out.
Right on cue. You'll hear a voice. Did somebody call for my name?
There he is.
That's right. Make way. The VIPs are here. And Leon and Pyrus and how does Leon make his entrance? I'm just curious.
So Leon, with his head in the book, probably Pyrus, still reading through the passages, sort of walks out of an impossible angle, like through a wall or something. And Pyrus, being the heralder of himself, always makes a grand entrance.
He says, "Oh, good. I see the rest of the crew is here, as expected, to be able to welcome Leon the Learned back to the land of the carny life."
Star, is that Beyonce's cousin?
You know what? I'm really starting to think so. Excuse me, Mr. Book, what's your name? Pyrus? Is that your name, Pyrus? Hi, I'm Star. Do you know Beyonce? And matter of fact, where the hell are we? What is here?
Beyonce?
Yes, Beyonce. Mm-hmm.
Leon, do we know Beyonce? That name doesn't ring a bell.
Flips through another page.
Was Beyonce that one mage that I gave a D- to? And she complained.
Well, that sounds like Beyonce.
Yes, it does.
That sounds just like Beyonce.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
What about her? I heard that she's currently doing nothing valuable with her life at the moment.
That is her in a nutshell. And Star says, and now I'm feeling kind of bad about it. But you're a talking book that makes you awesome. And if Leon doesn't mind, Star's gonna totally take the book and go, Oh, isn't this amazing? It's my favorite country. You'll see.
He does that a lot. He sings a lot.
Normal.
Leon,
This is
having
normal.
the most human interaction since ever, is very taken aback by this. And
That's not
Roll me real quick, just so I know how the Pyrus will react to this. Can you please roll for me a diplomacy star?
Oh, sure. Hold on.
Can I just say, do you know Beyonce? I was so tempted to say, is she related to Hannah Navarra?
Praise Pasha.
Pasha says that internally in our
Right. Pasha says internally in your yeah. 'cause you can
Darren
still
responds,
communicate.
I think they have their own pop stars.
Yes.
There's 6 worlds, probably many pop stars.
While Star is singing, Pyrus starts by saying, "Unhand me, you! Get your hands up!" Oh, wait. Actually, this is rather nice. No one's ever serenaded me before. Keep going, is what Pyrus says.
Like Powder just lights up his pipe and starts smoking.
Aaron just sees this.
I like to imagine he lights it up with Lonix tailfire. Right there.
Subtly, Mr. Bunn turns his head slowly towards Star, and his little eyes start to furrow slightly. And Pyrus says, "Now, don't be jealous, Mr. Bunn. Don't be jealous."
Leon's going to softly toss Mr. Bunn over, and it's just going to slightly float off to the side of Pyrus.
Go
So
for
he's
it.
gonna see Pyrus just sort of acceptance. He just has the flask that Sam gave me. He just sort of looks at. He looks at Pyrus like, oh, for God's sake.
Darren just
Speak of
holds
it,
out his hand for the flask too, looking in the same direction.
He looks at Sam like, do you want me to give it to him? Like, he gives it to him. My ancestor. What is? Oh, Lordy. So
I hand it to Darren without even asking.
She takes it.
Okay, next time I pick a vacation spot.
This was a very unexpected vacation.
Chimchar.
Well, it's a good thing that you gods are here. Is there something you all need help with?
Chimchar.
Always a mission. We have to
what
help
do
you
you-
with something.
We have to find their bookmark, maybe.
Exactly.
Not really.
Yeah, everything's been resolved here for the most part.
I could use some help. I am Ronaldo, I am looking for the worst chef in all of Thedas. Can you get me one?
Yes, we can.
Sorry, the arm flies out towards Sue.
That's not fair. She's gotten better.
I love you, Sue.
The worst? I haven't even been in this place for, what, more than 20 minutes? How am I already the worst?
All right.
Sorry, we didn't mean to drag you.
Let's
He did.
Sorry.
let's bring this down a notch, just a little bit. You're looking. I mean, yeah, all our problems have at least been solved by us, unless there's a problem you're specifically looking for.
All we know is we come here, we come into a world, we fix a problem, a bookmark appears, and then we can go back to the library.
Chimchar is going to take the glitched bookmark out of his inventory and show it to you all. Chimchar.
Yeah, we were experiencing a lot of those glitches in Chimchar's Lonix world.
The little
For
fire
introductions, before we go further, I think you already know some of us. I am Darethim the Redeemed. This is Mr. the Resolute, Pasha the Unyielding, Tyrion the Free, and Leon the Learned. And then our companions, Darren, Balm, Master Ignaldo, of course. I think you already did meet Mai and Tai, Princess Violetta, and Darren here.
Resolute.
And
Just call me Russo L. Ren. I haven't taken too well to that title.
Many titles. It reminds me of the Doctor, Lanik, with so many different titles.
Oh, the
yeah.
PhDs.
Car.
Yes. That man had so much debt. It's like, oh, honey, get an accountant.
I know. Do you guys have a lot of debt as gods?
I just look over at Tyrion.
Do you need to find certification for a doctor at all? Because we
Uh,
have a lot of certifications.
We have a lot of gold too. Ton of gold.
Yes.
Well, I think with them being gods, they're not super needy of gold or certifications, I would guess.
Not really,
Not
Not about
technically.
the latter.
So
Depends.
we've got here Frankie, who's kind of we went to his world first. We've got Sue, who also can go by Veed, and like Darius can change, though not quite as dramatically, but still dramatically. We've got Star, who is obviously fantastic, entertaining pixie. We've got Tori, who is we're currently working with Tori to get her back to a little bit more corporealness.
Kind of corporeal right now.
It's true.
It's very good here. We've got Black Powder, but really Reginald. And Reginald, we were in Reginald's world for a long time, a sailor and a scamp. And then we've got Lonic. And Lonic, we just left Lonic's world, and Lonic is a little bit different than the rest of us. And then I'm saying,
going ahead and change back into his normal form, but he forgets to hop off of Sam's shoulder first.
Yeah, and that's and as he said, that's Sam, and he talks circles around everyone.
It's kind of confusing sometimes.
I think he does. I'm pretty sure he does it on purpose.
A human Rubik's Cube.
Facts.
Whatever
What's
that
a
is.
Rubik's Cube?
You don't want
This
to know.
thing
He's
like a puzzle. You can never figure it out.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all, and hopefully we can get you back to the library. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I just really kind of hope that we don't have to go back through my world to get there.
Oh, your world was pretty fun, honestly.
Yes, the race cars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just didn't like losing.
could do without that maze where the thing kept eating people.
Yeah, they're not like that at all. Or the one that crushed you. That's a bad
That one was bad too, yeah.
Yeah. You survived.
I'm sorry, why does anyone live in that world?
They're made there?
Yeah.
Why do you live in this world?
Have a choice,
I don't even question that anymore.
Sorry, I'm just a little shocked. If you could leave, why won't you just stay away?
He's the first one who's done it. Oh, God damn it.
That's fair. That is very fair.
Star's gonna look at Russo and say, I like you. I like the look. I'm feeling a pull. I'm feeling a vibe. Are you with me? Do you feel it? Because there's just something about you. I feel something. Do you ever want to get coffee and we can just talk about fashion? You know, I just have this desire to talk about fashion. And you know what I really want to talk about? Shoes. Oh my God, I need to seriously go shoe shopping. Yes. Are you down?
Come again.
Like fashion, honey, fashion. Those shoes you're wearing, they're killer. They go with your eyes. Like really, has anyone not told you how amazing your eyes sparkle with those shoes? Like seriously, honey, come here. We need to talk. My name is Star, by the way. I go by actually Clemantis Fields, but Star stands for Sapphire, Topaz, Amethyst, Ruby, and Rhyolite. I'm 5 and 1. And you are? Star holds out his hand.
Russo kind of slowly just think Talladega Nights with like the dead fish handshake. and just be like, Rousseau.
Good. Now that introductions are out of the way, again, remember, fashion, coffee, you and me, it's a date. And again, we need to get back home. That's also a thing.
I'll add it to the itinerary.
Star looks accomplished and feels good about his life choices.
I have a feeling this is going to be a long day, but that's just...
Frankie pats you on the back.
Yeah, it's definitely, a lot going on. So, helping, it sounds like there's a need for a cook. I know you said specifically the worst cook. I don't know if we qualify for that. Maybe it's me. I can try.
Again, that's up to Pyrus's whole shindig with what he wants. Not us, unless you folks are looking for something.
Maybe it's a different side of the story. Maybe you're the ones who need help this time around.
True. Agreed.
Well,
You always need help.
If I remember correctly, Darren says, the last time this happened with them, things seemed to resolve and people went back to where they were supposed to after knowledge was exchanged between the two groups. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
For the most part.
Perhaps, if you don't mind humoring me, maybe you all just need to figure out what exactly you need to transfer knowledge-wise from each other. And maybe the same thing will happen.
Fair, but there was also the child abduction thing when we went to the other world.
Oh,
Right, with the prune juice. Yeah.
Oh, the prune
yeah.
juice.
Wait, that sounds really familiar.
Would have no idea what you're talking about. In fact, hey, Mai and Tai, do you want to go talk somewhere else?
Oh wait, is the demon that forces you to mow lawns around? I thought we got rid of that one a year ago.
We did.
Lon
Maybe
looks
there's a new one.
Concerned at the mention of lawn mowing.
Are you all right? Sue says, "Are you all right, Lonick?"
I don't want to go back. Not yet. I just got out. I don't want to go back.
Sue will try to comfort Lonick as much as possible. Bomb, the ogre, says, "May I recommend it? I trust that some of you probably are hungry from your travels. Perhaps we could break, have meals, and you all can converse with each other freely, at least over food. I find that empty stomachs can cause a bit of lack of clarity in your heads. Maybe once you start to fill your bellies, you will be able to be more coherent with your thoughts."
That'd be great. I haven't ate for months. I'm really hungry.
Food is good.
That's right.
Can you eat? Pointing at Tori. Can you eat?
I'm corporeal. I don't know. Normally I'm not. So I'd love to give it a try. Does
yeah, just
anybody
so
have
long
any
as you
food?
don't overdo it.
No promises there, Sam.
Do you have any money, Tori?
I don't think you have to worry about money, at least for the small day. We can accommodate.
I mean,
Master Ignaldo implodes in the background.
I mean,
Yeah, Master Galdi.
if need be, I could always just cook too. So,
They did say they had a lot of gold with them. Cha-ching. Insert the money song here. Money.
Tons of it.
Money.
Yay!
You'd never have to work again with that amount of gold. Just saying.
Just saying.
We'll talk.
you guys keep using money from my world as bargaining chips.
Sorry.
But I mean, I look at the others, and I think we can for now be generous to offer food to these folk.
Yes, it's the least that I can do after all that the saints have done for this circus. Feel free to partake in the cuisines of the circus as much as you'd like. He'll clap his hands, and Mayan Tile says, "Of course. Right this way to the food area."
What's up with that book?
Well, it is a one-of-a-kind talking book made of human skin, but other than that, I mean, there's quite a lot up with it.
You didn't get it from... You didn't find it at a school, did you?
No, my parents gave it to me, but I am curious about that glitched bookmark, if you will.
Well, that's from my old world. I guess it's not my world anymore.
As in you've rejected it, or it's rejected you, or it no longer exists?
I don't want to be there.
That is unfortunate, as, well, you've deemed it not worthy to be there anymore. Is there a reason behind it, or?
It's not that it's not worthy to be there. I just don't want to be a part of it.
There's a lot of things that you will grow through when you, I guess grow up for me, but parts of your past you can learn to accept into your life, or learn to let go of, I guess. And it sounds like your world.
Are you curious about anything? You seem a lot smarter than the doctor.
Laughing at knowing Tyrion and yes, well, we each have our own strengths, I guess, and I just so happen to enjoy learning new things, like that bookmark. Leon sort of goes a little closer towards the bookmark.
Oh, I mean, just as long as you don't use magic on it, nothing should happen. Do you use magic?
That is mostly all of my things, so maybe this is one Faustian deal I should not take.
Well, I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Apparently drifting into other worlds, but could I, through my domain, try to figure out the nature of said object?
Yes, you can. Would you like to do a roll, please?
I'd love to do a roll. Would that be under, like, research or something?
I would think so, yeah.
I'd say that's pretty good. 25 with 4 stud points.
So you're just trying to learn as much as you can about this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in general, these bookmarks are basically, if you want to put it in Harry Potter terms, a port key that takes you to different worlds, that helps you travel back and forth between different parallel universes, if you want to call it that. There's an issue with this one, because this seems to be, there's something corrupt, not like in an evil way, but like corrupted code, because you don't know what code is in this world, and which means it's very unstable and risky to use, and you probably presume that this is why they ended up here, because based on what they were saying, this situation is very different from what they normally experience. You get a flash vision of a plant, which actually is right up your alley. A plant that looks like a type of lotus, but you're very curious about this plant. It's very mysterious. It's in a, if I may say, enigma, so to speak, for you. But that might be the key to getting these people back where they need to be.
Does anything about, like, a lotus ring any bells for you?
It's kind of fuzzy. What? Why is it fuzzy? You could be talking about the Enigma lotus. It's a really rare flower from my world that only has a 1 in several thousand chance of even appearing. And even then, it only blooms for a few seconds for each potential playthrough. So finding a bloomed Enigma Lotus is like finding a needle in a haystack in another haystack.
Oh dear. Well, any chance we could artificially create one? Or I guess we should learn a little bit more about your world. You said it had crushing traps and mazes that eat people.
My world was designed for fun. And a lot of the peril, a lot of the danger was supposed to be fun. But when you're trapped there as long as I was, fun stops being fun and starts becoming stressful.
Ah, so you want a more serious type life then?
I do. I would like that very much.
At least to me, it sounds like journeying through worlds is a very serious topic.
Well, you weren't in Black Powder's world.
The piratey type person?
Yeah. Reginald. We were sailing on the open sea, searching for gold, and I couldn't speak the truth. I felt like I had to hug everything. I was cursed a lot. It was rough.
Curses are quite powerful. I know that Daretham is a curse slinger.
I'll have to go and talk to Daretham later. But one thing is true. I don't regret leaving my world behind. I'm glad I did it.
Well, you've got infinite possibilities, if that library is to be believed, of worlds to explore. Maybe you'll find your world in there then.
I think I might have already found my world. Actually.
I'm glad that you found a lead at least, and I guess we will see where it takes you then.
Are there any other questions that you have?
I have so many questions, but I have a feeling that we may not have, well, the time left to you guys in this glitched bookmark.
I hope that nothing from my world leaked into yours.
Speaking of which, how do we differentiate things from your world versus ours? Is there any markers?
I don't have any markers. I mean, I do have markers, but they aren't markers. And if Leon will allow it, Lonix gonna pick up his hand and put it on his shoulder.
Being very curious, but unknown, I guess they'll allow it. And
so, technically speaking, this is Lonix's aquatic collectathon form, because that was the closest to fantasy that he had. So, Leon, you see a radar that indicates Lonix's best friends. Tori, Sue, Sam, and Star all have little pings on this mini-map, like a video game. Little markers.
Wow, this is quite the interesting viewpoint. I guess we have something similar, but we are gods after all, so we have our own unique quirks.
It's a really good thing I'm not still from my world. Otherwise, I'd probably feel compelled to try and fight you. I don't think that would go well.
Well, I am technically the weakest out of everyone, but in concerns, you'd probably still be smitten to death.
Oh, no doubt. No question. I am very fragile.
So I will first go over to Frankie and kind of loop my arm around his and say, could use like a shield just in case they are a little hostile. They seem friendly, but just in case, I need a bodyguard.
Okay, of course, I'll protect you if you want protection. Because last time you told me you didn't need me at all, so you were like, I don't need your help, and we all sang a song. You like told me to like chill out and all of that, and that's why I just left you. But okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Frankie. Sometimes I get a little sassy.
Well, you're dead now, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, who cares? Just nothing bad will happen to me, but
Yeah, you can't die twice.
That's what I keep telling her, Sue says from
We'll say maybe at
left.
this point, Dareth and Leona are approaching and be like, I mean, I don't know about in your world, but afterlives do exist. There are worse things than death.
You said
Well,
something
then.
about being dead.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
well, what do you want to know about being dead? Have you seen ghosts?
Spirits, demons, yes, aplenty. Though not one like you. I mean, you're from another
Someone
world.
so nice, so to speak.
Leon died. The book says
You did?
It got better.
he did get better.
Did you come
There's-
back?
He also got evil,
Yes.
sort of.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, Daretham and I are still, I guess, working through that, but yes, I got better.
You were like revived, or like what's the situation?
Was a dragon now a human, I guess? Souls are weird.
Honestly, not the
Leon-
weirdest thing I've ever heard.
The original Leon, died, and a different soul was put into his body.
Ooh. That's like what you can do, Tori. A little bit.
Oh yeah. I can possess objects and things. Would you like me to demonstrate?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there like any objects in the near vicinity?
Daretham has
Art.
a staff right there.
Oh, the staff.
Plus, it's a
yeah.
circus.
Sure, the staff.
I will go into the staff.
Yeah, you can easily do that and make it float.
So I can do this.
And you guys will actually see that around his right wrist there's looks to be like a red handkerchief that's tied up, and then seemingly on its own it also just kind of starts to just float around his hand and such, just as he's looking. Doesn't seem to be doing it consciously, just absentmindedly. Huh.